How's it going, guys? This is Twister, and today I'm back with another GTA Online video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about motorcycle clubs and CEO organisations, comparing and discussing the two and giving you guys my opinions on what I think is the best for making the most amount of money in GTA Online, because I've been hearing a lot of mixed opinions, especially about motorcycle clubs. Some people think that motorcycle clubs are a really good way to make money, some people think it's trash and it's an awful way to make money, especially compared to CEO organisations, and some people really aren't too sure and they just want to know if they could only do one, what's going to make them the most money in GTA Online. So that's what I'm going to attempt to get to the bottom of in this video, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So the first thing that I'm going to compare is the range of abilities that they have and some of the jobs and some of the challenges that you can do whilst playing in a motorcycle club or in a CEO organisation. So straight away, I think this is where motorcycle clubs lack a little bit of variety. You don't really have many abilities and there's not many things to do outside of businesses, which I'll get into in a minute. The only thing you can really do is contracts. The Clubhouse Contracts, although they're pretty decent, they're not really as practical, since every time you want to start up a new Clubhouse contract, you've got to go back to your MC Clubhouse, whereas pretty much all the CEO work and the VIP work, that just can be activated on the fly. Just go into your interaction menu and start up Headhunter. You've got piracy prevention, executive search, you've got a lot more choice in terms of CEO work, and then you've also got the CEO challenges as well, and then the CEO abilities, being able to spawn in vehicles, being able to activate ghost organization and the whole bribe authorities. The CEOs have a much wider range of abilities that make them way more effective for some of the missions and stuff you're going to be doing. And compared to that, the motorcycle clubs, they just don't really offer a lot. Yeah, you've got your different roles like Vice President and Sergeant Arms and all those different kinds of things. Yeah, Clubhouse Contracts are a nice idea, but you can only choose from 3 of them at a time, and every time you want to start a new one you have to go back to your clubhouse. And then the actual club work and club challenges options from the interaction menu, they are hands down a lot worse than the CEO work and the CEO challenges that you've got available. I tried one of the club work modes called Stand Your Ground, and you have to defend a small point on the map for 20 minutes against other players, and I only got 20k for defending it successfully for 20 minutes against tanks and hydras, whereas I could just do piracy prevention for 10 minutes and get 30k for that. So it's pretty safe to say I'm never going to play Stand Your Ground again. So in general, it just feels like there's way less to do and much less variety in a motorcycle club compared to being a CEO, and especially free mode, it really isn't balanced around motorcycle clubs and the whole gameplay aspect of riding bikes. You have got the riding in formation feature, which it's a cool feature, but again, it doesn't really offer that much practicality. You're so vulnerable when on bikes, and that's kind of what the whole thing is centered around. Whereas as a CEO, just being able to spawn in a buzzard instantly right next to you and have access to it pretty much all the time, and then going back to your office, I'm pretty sure you can exit the roof of the offices in a Hydra, and Hydras and helicopters are so powerful compared to just riding on bikes. So I think the abilities and a lot of the jobs and the challenges that you can do as a CEO are much better than the things you can do in a motorcycle club. Now next up, I'm going to be comparing the startup costs for a motorcycle club and a CEO organisation, and these are pretty much very similar. When you're starting up a motorcycle club, you've got to buy the clubhouse, and then once you get into the businesses, you've got to buy the business, and then you've got upgrades and stuff like that, and they're all really similar price to the CEO stuff, where you buy your office and then you buy your warehouse, and you've got the vehicle upgrades for your warehouse once you get to the selling missions. I think the clubhouses are a lot cheaper, especially if you ended up buying one of the really expensive offices like the 4 million Maze Bank one. I think my clubhouse costed 1.8 million, my office ended up costing around 3 million, but then I guess it balances out with the businesses themselves are really expensive, especially when you add up all the upgrades. Like, you kind of really need to buy the upgrades if you want to have successful businesses, and the MC business upgrades cost around 2 million, whereas I feel like the warehouses are a bit cheaper, unless of course you're buying the largest warehouse and you end up doing all the upgrades. I guess starting up a CEO organisation may be a little bit more expensive, especially when you've got a much wider range of costs for offices and warehouses. So they're pretty similar in that respect, but actually getting on to the main thing about the CEO organizations and the motorcycle clubs, that's the businesses for motorcycle clubs and the warehouses for CEO organizations. This is where the big differences happen. So for a motorcycle club, you can own up to 5 businesses, and the MC businesses will slowly produce stock that will increase in value to when you can actually get to a point where you can sell all that stock and make your money. Now the most amount of product you can sell for one business it's only 420k, and that's for the cocaine farm. You can obviously get a little bit more if you sell it in a full session and get that high demand bonus, but it's never going to be that much more than 500k for one sale. Whereas the money potential for filling up a full warehouse, the large warehouses for a CEO organization that can hold 111 crates, I think you can sell all that in one go for around 2 million. So of course you got your differences in time of how long it takes for you to actually get all the crates and fill up a warehouse, as opposed to the time it takes in the background for your motorcycle club business to actually produce that stock on its own. But I definitely think that the money potential is a lot greater for CEOs filling up a warehouse as opposed to just waiting for your motorcycle business just to produce product in the background, because it does do it in the background and there's no real way to speed it up other than buying the upgrades, right? So you've just got to wait for your motorcycle club business to produce that stock on its own. You can't really do anything to speed up the process, and the only way to get it to do anything at any reasonable speed is being in a free mode session. So if you wanted to do races or you wanted to do some adversary modes, that's just going to stop any progress of your MC business actually producing stock and increasing the value. So it can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. You don't really need to do anything to actually produce that stock and have it increase in value, but at the same time you can't really do anything to speed it up. Whereas if you're just filling up a warehouse as a CEO, you can really start blasting through the crate missions, buying 3 at a time, being really efficient with, I don't know, a team of 4, and you can fill up that warehouse pretty damn quickly if, like I said, you're being really efficient, using buzzards and whatnot. And just to compare the time it takes to fill up a warehouse solo and wait for a MC business to produce that stock, I was able to get to a value of 240k in my warehouse just by buying crates and doing those crate missions solo. And in that same amount of time, my businesses were only at around 160k and 140k. So I definitely think it's a lot quicker to get the value of your warehouse increasing a lot faster than it is for your motorcycle business to produce a stock that increases the value for when you come around to selling it. And also another benefit of the warehouses and actually getting the crates to fill the warehouses, the value for each crate actually increases exponentially. So that means the more crates you have and the more crates you carry on getting, the more the warehouse value will increase at each time. Whereas for motorcycle businesses, it looks like that just increases at the same rate. So there's no real advantage of waiting for your business to fully max out to when you get to selling it. And this is something I may have got wrong in my previous video. I'm still not 100% sure because I've heard mixed things from different people. So if you 100% know for sure whether MC business value increases at the same steady rate or whether it increases exponentially like CEO crate, so the more stock you have, the more value it increases by, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I see no reason why it shouldn't work just like the CEO crates do. So you get more money for, say, selling 50 crates in one go rather than selling 25 crates at this point and then getting 25 crates again and selling them again. It can be a bit confusing, but I still definitely think that warehouses have a much greater money potential than the motorcycle club businesses. Now you could argue that once you manage to get 5 motorcycle club businesses running in the background, that's really going to increase the efficiency of the amount of money you can actually make, whereas you can only really fill up one warehouse at a time. But I still do think that if you could only do one method of making money in free mode, it's probably going to be the CEO organizations and actually filling out that warehouse. It just has a much greater money potential, especially at the top end of a full large warehouse. I only have a medium warehouse. I still never have bought a full warehouse for my organization, but I still think even at a medium warehouse it's a more efficient way of making more money as opposed to just motorcycle businesses. However, there's definitely one more important aspect of motorcycle businesses, which means you don't really have to directly compare motorcycle businesses and CEO organizations against each other to see which one's best, because you don't actually have to be active in your motorcycle club in order for your motorcycle businesses to run in the background and increase value whilst they produce stock. You don't have to be in your motorcycle club for that to happen. So what you could do, and this is something that I've been doing and it's been working really well, you can make sure that your MC businesses have full supplies, and then you switch to being a CEO and you start doing the crate missions for your warehouses and filling up your warehouse. And at the same time as being a CEO and filling up your warehouse with a bunch of crates to get your warehouse value increasing and increasing, at the same time your motorcycle businesses will also be producing stock and increasing the value there. So by the time you get to filling up, I don't know, a medium warehouse which is 42 crates or 48 crates I believe. By the time you filled up that warehouse, a couple of your MC businesses are also going to be full on stock and actually maxed out in value. You may need to keep checking up on the supplies and keep making sure that the supplies are topped up by doing the resupply missions. And as you have more MC businesses, it becomes a little bit more impractical to keep on top of all those supplies for all 5 businesses. But so far it's been working great for me. I only have a medium warehouse and I have 2 businesses, the weed farm and the cocaine farm. And it's pretty easy to blast through the crate missions for a medium warehouse and fill that up relatively quickly. And by the time I filled that up and got that up to 735k's worth of value, both of my businesses will have near enough maxed out in value. So that's 250k for my weed farm and 420k for my cocaine farm. So once I get round to selling all of that in one go, doing the selling mission for my warehouse and the selling missions for my 2 businesses, that's over $1 million of GTA money, and you can do that in a day pretty much. It doesn't take that long to do. Obviously you have got to grind it out in a 3-month session. Not everyone likes the whole grind aspect of the game, but if you really wanted to do it, it is there for you to do. So you don't just have to stick to one, you can do them both at the same time, and that has actually been working great. Crate missions as a CEO to get my warehouse value up, and then in the background whilst I'm doing that, my MC businesses will also be producing stock, and the value will slowly increase, and then that'll be maxed out by the time my warehouse is full. So while I still think that CEO organizations are the better choice if you can only do one, doing both of them at the same time is definitely the way to go if you really want to be as efficient as you can in a 3-month session. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I know it's been a bit of a long one comparing motorcycle clubs and CEO organizations, but a lot of people have been asking what's better, and I've seen a lot of people saying that the motorcycle club businesses are such a poor way to make money because it takes so long, you can't do anything to speed it up, and the money that you get at the end of it isn't really that much. And while that's true compared to CEO organizations, you can do it all at the same time and it actually works really good. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, hopefully you guys have learned from this video, hopefully I've explained it well enough for you guys. If you have got any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have enjoyed it, make sure to leave it a like rating, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll hopefully see you all in my next video. See you later guys.